Okay, so today we are going to do another tea time. I know we haven't really done a technical tea time in a while, but today is a really important topic for me. It's actually about my stance with abortion, and that's just as clear as it can be. So I know as a Christian, like that is a heavy debate, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm pro-life or I'm pro-choice. I guess it's a very touchy subject for me because you have someone like Mike Pence in office who is now our vice president, and understanding what his views are towards women and our bodies, it just really bothers me. And so I wanted to share a couple things with you guys about me and why I feel the way I do so strongly, and to maybe encourage you to just not to think like I do or feel the way I do, but to just speak up and have your voice and allow your voice to be heard. So I share with you guys a while back, I don't remember, sometime last year, that I was raped when I was 2 days before I turned 16. So for me, this is like very personal. I don't need a man or a woman for that matter to tell me what to do with my body. I just cannot imagine living in a world or in a country where a man can just decide to make up laws that affect me and my body. I have 2 boys. I, don't have a daughter, but I can't imagine having a daughter and raising her in a world like today. It's hard enough to raise, my boys. I just can't imagine having a girl. And I say that because I know what I went through as a kid, as a child, as a teenager, and it wasn't easy. But I also have to think about some of the girls that I've actually talked to along my journey, and to think about some of them that had been pregnant due to sexual assault or rape or even molestation, and to think that they don't have a right to even contemplate whether they want to keep a child or abort a child is baffling to me, based off of someone else's religious beliefs. Now, no matter what I believe, religiously, it still shouldn't constitute what you do as a person. It should be between you and your Creator, and you and your God. And I know some Christians are going to try to come for me for saying this, but we are not here to judge other people. We're here to love other people and to be an example. I think that circumstances are different. And the views of someone like Mike Pence, he doesn't care if your life as a mother is in jeopardy, or if the baby's life, is known, is in jeopardy, or if a child was molested by a family member and is now pregnant. He doesn't care about any of those issues. He believes that abortion should be illegal and that you should be criminalized for having one. And I just think that that's asinine. I don't care what side of the fence you fall on, religious or not. I just think it's wrong to tell somebody that they can't do something with their body based off of what you personally believe religiously. I went to the Women's March here in LA, and a lot of black people asked me, why did I go? Well, for the simple fact that I was raped when I was almost 16 years old. And thank God that I did not end up pregnant at that time. But along my journey since then, I've talked to a lot of girls, a lot of young women that have been, raped as well or molested and did end up pregnant. If you want to hear my story about being raped, click the information link in the corner of your screen, or click the link in the description box down below. To think about a 9-year-old or a 13-year-old that is now forced to have a baby by a predator, that makes me sick to my stomach. If that's something that child and her family decides to do, to go ahead and have a baby, that's one thing. I'm not against that by any means. God bless them. But I also am very empathetic and sympathetic to a family or a child who chooses abortion for many reasons, for a situation like that. And here's my real problem with these, super far right pro-life people. You guys love the fetus, but you hate the child, and you can't have both. You have to love the fetus and love the child, or hate the child and hate the fetus. I mean, you can't do both. I don't understand that. Like, you want to force some of these girls, and some of these girls, like, I'm not saying that I agree with abortion by any means. Like, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not condoning, I'm not supporting abortion. I'm just stating what the facts are. And I don't believe that someone should have the right to tell you what to do with your body, period. My thing is, you know, the Republican Party especially, and by the way, I'm not affiliated with either party because all of them are full of shit as far as I'm concerned, okay? But this is the thing. You know, they want to stop you or people from having an abortion. Maybe it's somebody who knows they can't afford to take care of a baby. They can barely afford to take care of themselves. For whatever reason, they got pregnant. They don't want you to have an abortion. Okay, great. So now you bring this baby into the world. They don't want to help you either. And that's a problem that I have. You want this woman to keep the baby, but you don't want to help give her the resources to take care of the baby when she knows that she couldn't take care of it to begin with. And now you also want to criminalize the girl who knows she can't take care of a baby and decides to have an abortion and lock her up and make her a prisoner. And now make her a slave if you want to go back to the 13th Amendment. I'm not going to even go there. But I just think it's important for us to really start opening our eyes and understand what's going on around us with legislation, with this very unique administration that we have in place for this country. And I just think we need to do a better job of taking care of ourselves and looking out for one another. Please, not by any means, do not take this message as one that I am an advocate for abortion or anything like that. That's not the case. I'm an advocate for women and us having rights. I mean, to say you're going to criminalize a woman, but you're not going to criminalize a man for getting her pregnant, that's not okay. It takes two people to make a baby. And so if you're not going to punish one, you can't punish the other. And I don't want you girls to settle for that either. And that's what's happening. That is what is happening right now. Today, the day that I am filming this video, there are things happening. There was a speech being made by your vice president talking about this very topic right now about reversing Roe v. Wade. It's like opening Pandora's box. And it's unfortunate that these are the issues that we have to focus on in this country. When there are children who are hungry, adding to the problem. There's so many things. I mean, this is a guy, this vice president of ours, y'all's, who, when was the governor of Indiana for a pretty short period of time, also left his mark by tripling the AIDS and HIV community. You want to know why? Because he cut health care and he put his religious views, extreme religious views. I'm a Christian. He is so far extreme from what I believe, so I don't put myself in the same boat with him. But because he wanted to put his views into law, the HIV community has now tripled in Indiana. Why? Because he cut funding to the health department that allowed for a needle exchange. Well, some people say it was adding to the problem and enabling drug addicts, but that's not the case, because now you have people that are sharing dirty needles and they're sleeping with people who maybe don't do drugs. Does that make it right for that person to now contract AIDS or HIV? No, it doesn't. So now you have all these new cases of AIDS and HIV in Indiana, and it's all because of the decision of one person, your vice president, Mike Pence. So I this is not like a preaching, this is just me sharing with you guys, and hopefully that it will spark, not interest, but maybe not a movement, or maybe a movement to get you guys to see what's really going on and to speak out against it, because we do have voices, and don't let people deter you. You know, a lot of people, some black people were saying, I don't know why you were going to that march. It's not for black people, and there was all these white people here for their white problems and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, really? I'm like, we were there as women together. And that's what it's all about, not causing division and separating us even more. We already are on an uphill battle. Sure, we have issues as black people and in the black community, but this was about women. And I'm not going to now separate myself from other women just because we're not the same color. That's what they want. Like, you know, you divide a house and it will fall. You come together and it will stand strong. So just do what you can. Speak out. Call your representatives. Do whatever you have to do to stand firm, because once this happens, they reverse Roe v. Wade. You just wait. A whole lot of other things are going to come undone. You mock my word. But anyway, all right, that's it. Apologize for the somber tone of this video. This topic really bothers me, and I'm sure it's because of my personal experience that I've had. Me being raped was not the only time that I have been sexually assaulted. So I just have a problem with men thinking that they can force themselves on anybody, on a woman especially. It's not okay, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I hope you don't either.
I'm a dork.